welcome back to the Nurturing Coach channel. Really appreciate you being here. If you haven't had a chance already, please do click the subscribe button and don't forget at the end of the videos to let me have some of your feedback. So, am I the narcissist? Am I a narcissist? And I'm doing this video today because I guarantee that any interaction with a narcissist will result in you questioning this. Now, it may be that they've thrown it at you. We know how they love to project. But actually, you may be having those doubts yourself. So, I know I have those doubts sometimes because, you know what? Some of the traits of a narcissist, they're actually, they're encouraged and they can be quite helpful. And so, I wanted to sort of take a closer look at this. So from a really psychological point of view, any encounter with a narcissist can leave us being a little bit co-narcissistic. And what I mean by that is you tend to adopt some of the behaviours of the narcissist. One, because you're conditioned to do that. And two, it becomes your norm. And three, it's kind of like a defence as well. So you learn how to behave, but then you adapt to those behaviours as well. And these can either be evident within that relationship or within others around of that. Because sometimes what we do, and we don't mean to do it, is when we're being abused and attacked, we can sometimes then put that onto someone else. And so co-narcissism is essentially meaning that only one personality is present within that relationship, and those behaviours can become evidence within that system of those individuals, whether it be the entire family or just a partnership, whatever the relationship is. So there is evidence that we can take on some of those characteristics. But the one thing that I really want to point out is that narcissistic personality disorder, the reason that people get diagnosed with that is because it has to be persistent. These have to be long-term behaviours. This is not just a reactive behaviour that you do over one short period of time, for half an hour one day, or even for a few months, or maybe even for a little bit longer. It's that persistent maladaptive behaviour that goes on for a substantial period of time, and they have to hit 5 or more of the characteristics that are detailed in the DSM-5. You can explore that at your leisure. They cover the grandiose, self-inflated ego. They look at they're being consumed with fantasies of their own importance, their arrogant, haughty behaviours, their interpersonally exploitative. And so you'll recognise all of them. But like I say, the key is that these are long-term behaviours. These are not just flash in the pan. This is their personality. This is how their personality has developed. But I want to look at this about how this you're making you feel. So we can rule it out on a psychological footing, but actually it can feel quite disturbing when you behave in certain ways. And actually, we do all behave in narcissistic ways from time to time. Sometimes because they're useful, and sometimes as a protective mechanism. So I'm going to share my sort of sorry, my alarm on my phone. So sorry about that. So I think we've all, from time to time, been guilty of a little bit of projection every now and again. We can blame someone else if something's going wrong. We can shift the blame onto someone else, and we do it to protect ourselves. Now, like I said, obviously it's a long-term thing to be classed as being narcissistic, but we do that from time to time. And I think the important thing is, if you are doing that, is to recognise why. We all make mistakes. What is it about not owning up to something that is affecting you and stopping you from doing that, and sort of being more aware of when you're doing it? Another thing that we can sometimes do is have those sort of fantasies and those grandiose ideas. And I know I'm guilty of that quite a lot. I think to be a business person, particularly a businesswoman, you have to have those self-confidence, I suppose is the term that I'm looking for. And it's okay to have self-confidence. It's okay to want to be successful. It's okay to want to be the best that you can be. The difference between self-confidence and narcissism is you're not doing it to put anyone else down. You're not doing it at anyone else's expense. You're doing it for yourself, and you're not doing it to hide anything. You're doing it because you want to better yourself. You want to have a better life. And like I said, it's not about hurting anyone else. It's just about being the best possible version of yourself. But, like I say, people might accuse you of being narcissistic if you have these grand ideas that you can do this, that and the other. As long as you know where the motivation comes from, as long as you know that your heart's in the right place with it, don't worry about it. You're not narcissistic. Another thing that we can sometimes do is we can all be bitches or bastards in relationships. Again, that comes down to fear. We mess up, we make mistakes, we do stupid things. You might cheat, you might lash out, and I don't necessarily mean physical, but you know I've thrown something at a wall in anger. Doesn't make me narcissistic. I was angry and I lashed out, and it's not something I do all the time. It was a one-off. I've only done it once. But we do that. And unfortunately, when you're in a relationship with a narcissist, you do it once and it'll get dragged out. It'll be deemed as being your behaviour all the time, part of your personality. And it's not. It's just a reaction. And that's okay. Like I say, it's not persistent. It's not a part of your personality. It was just a reaction. Obviously, if you find yourself lashing out a lot or repeating behaviours, I would encourage you to look at why, and where possible, get help with that. And again, the difference being identifying and being self-aware that you're behaving in certain ways and getting the help with that means you're not a narcissist. So what else do I do that might be quite narcissistic? Obviously, I'm growing a business. I'm on camera in front of you guys. A lot of people would say that that's narcissistic, but I don't do it for me. I'm not doing it because I want to be famous. Far from it. I'm doing it because I feel I have an important message to share. I went through something horrendous, and I believe that I can help others that have been there. And that's all that it's about. I'm not interested in fame. You don't see pictures of me every single day in 1,000,001 different poses all over social media. I'm actually very private. I don't share a lot about myself or my story. You watch any of my videos, you follow me on any of my social media, I am very, very private. I share what I need to help other people, but my life is my life, and I don't feel the need to live it out in public. Having said that, I'm open, and if anyone has questions, I will always answer them honestly, but I don't feel the need to parade it out in public. Partly because a lot of it isn't always just my story to tell. My situation with the narcissist, there's a lot of other people involved in that, and there's children involved, and I would never ever put them in that position. But being on YouTube, having subscribers, having people watch my videos, yeah, a lot of people probably will say that's narcissistic. I know I've had plenty of haters on my channel tell me that I am, and that's fine. I'm prepared to look at myself and see if that is something, but I know what the motivation is, and I know where it comes from, and I know that I'm doing it for all the right reasons. And so I don't think that makes me narcissistic. What else? Let me think of one other thing. Oh, I'm a big believer in forward pacing your life, forward pre-paving your life so that you can live the life you want, live your dreams. If you want to be happy, think about all the things that make you happy, visualise the house you want to live in, the car you want to drive, the relationship you want, all of those things. I'm a big believer in that. So people might say that those are fantasies of success and everything. Well, I don't tell anyone about them. I'm telling you now, but I'm not going into the detail. I don't go around telling everyone else that I'm going to be this and I'm going to be that. I tell myself it because it's about affirming it to me. It's about building my confidence, but I don't go telling everyone else. So it's not to big myself up in front of other people. It's not a confidence boost for anyone else's benefit. it's about me wanting to feel better and my own beliefs, essentially. And like I say, I keep that private. That's my business. I don't share that with the world. I share the odd thing with friends, but that's up to me. My design for my life is my own issue, and so it's not about having these fantasies about life. We do have fantasies, but I'm not doing it because I want everyone to think I'm amazing and awesome and please like me because I'm going to be this, I'm going to be that. It's not luring people in to be part of my world because it's going to be this, that and the other. It's because I want to make it that, but I want to make it that for me and not so I can show off, just because I want a nice life. I want to enjoy my life, and I want to be happy. Anything else that's quickly jumping off the top of my head? Gaslighting. We do that sometimes, don't we? I've done it. Where you messed up, basically. And then you tell someone, no, I'm sure I told you. And we do that. We do, and we don't mean to. And obviously now we know what gaslighting is. We're aware of it and we'll do it less and less. But I know in the past that to wriggle out of something, someone's asked you to do something, particularly at work, and you haven't done it. You might say, oh, no, you never asked me to do that. They did, but you just didn't do it. And so, yeah, we can be guilty of that. But again, it's about the behaviours. It's a one-off, and you know you've done it and you feel a little bit guilty. And to be honest, it's probably written all over your face. But you're not doing it to hurt anyone. You're doing it to kind of just like get away with it. And you feel guilty. And so, yeah, again, we do it sometimes. But it's a one-off or very rare that we do it. And we do not do it with any malice. It's laughable, really, isn't it? And so, no, that doesn't make you narcissistic either. If you have any others that you want to share, any confessions you want to make of your narcissistic traits, or if you think I am narcissistic, please do tell me. But I felt like we need to talk about this because people are going to accuse you. We live in a society where you're kind of encouraged to be a bit narcissistic. You're encouraged to put your life out there on the edge and put yourself out in front of social media. And obviously, as a businesswoman trying to get a message out there, I have to be out on social media. And so you open yourself up to criticism by doing that. But what the important thing to remember is that why you're doing it, and is this long-term patterns of behaviour, or is this just reactive behaviour? I hope you found that helpful and a little bit fun as well. It is an important subject, but you know what? I think we've got to answer it, but let's do it as lighthearted as possible. Let's be honest. Take an honest look at what's affecting us and our own behaviours, and that's what I'm trying to do. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. If you've got any ideas of any videos you would like me to do, then let me know. And like I say, if you've got any confessions to make, do put them below. Take care, everyone, and you're not a narcissist. Bye-bye.